Hi everyone and welcome to the Subtitle channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the Advanced Essentials presets. If you haven't already, then go and check out the video where I show you how to import your presets. And once you've done that, let's begin. So first things first, this preset pack is different from the Finzar Essentials pack, which I first released on Subtitle years ago. This is a brand new and enhanced version of that pack with all new presets. First, we have the handy tools section. Now, this is where I keep all of the most handy things that I just constantly use when I'm editing my own videos. We've got a drop shadow V2, which adds a really nice soft drop shadow. This is the kind of thing that I go for in my videos. We've got green screen V2. Now, this is a less intense version of the last green screen effect. With this, sometimes it won't pick up a different shade of green that I've set it to. And if it doesn't for any reason, then go into effect controls, find the key color, click the eyedropper tool, and just click on that green. And there we go, it's perfectly keyed out. And we've got a horizontal flip, which is animated. This can be really useful for when you're transitioning between character PNGs. And one that I'm really excited about is a new smooth camera shake. This looks really good and is just super smooth. I've been using it also in all of my new videos recently. And then of course, the only thing which is common among all of my preset packs, the transform effect. Now into the video effects. First thing we've got here is an arrow bob. Now this is really useful for when you have an arrow on screen like we have here. Let's put it over here and then drag on that arrow bob animation. As you can see, it's just subtly pointing at my face. Now I can move this around any which way I want. Change the direction, do it here. As long as I'm changing those values within the effects controls on the position and scale up here, and not in the transform where I've created the arrow bob, then you can move this around wherever you want. Blue screen is a very similar preset to the green screen one, except it's for blue screens, obviously. Once again, you're gonna have to select the exact blue that you have. And there we have it. We also have a blue sky gradient. Now, I'm just gonna drag and drop this onto this blue clip, but you can drag and drop this onto an adjustment layer, and that will do the same thing. I've also made a sensor bar for censoring stuff. And you can change the position of this by going into effect controls, down into mosaic and clicking on mask here, and then just dragging that mask wherever you want. You can also keyframe that by clicking mask path, going forward a few frames, and then changing the position of that. So there we go. Keyframe sensor bar. Corner pin is really useful for when you have a clip on screen that you want to be on a virtual TV, something like that. But as you can see, it doesn't have the same perspective of the TV, which is slightly angled to the left. So all we have to do here is drag the corner pin effect on there. Now I've already added some corner pins just so they're in slightly so you can get a better handle on them. All we do is open up the corner pin effect, click one of these, upper left, and then start dragging it into these corners. Now that's definitely more in line with the perspective of the TV, but in this instance, because I want it to have the rounded edges, the same as the TV itself, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip and go into the screen effects and then drag and drop the rounded corners effect on there. And there we have it. Looks like it's on the TV. You can obviously add other effects on there, and a good example of this would be the glitch overlay. As you can see, there is some overlapping going on. All I have to do there is click VR Digital Glitch, invert, and then drag those above the roughen edges effect. And that will get rid of that. Now, it might be super laggy, and that's absolutely fine. We can hit X on the keyboard, go to sequence, and then render into out. This is just gonna bake these effects into the timeline here so that we don't have to keep relying on our computer to do all the heavy lifting every time we play through it. It will just make playback a lot smoother. We also have a grain effect, which is animated to be constantly moving. This can just add a certain grittiness to your videos. It's very subtle, but I'm going to be using this in all of my videos. We also have an iPhone grade. This is a color grade. Here we have some iPhone footage, which is pretty blown out. A lot of the time, iPhone footage can do this in Premiere. It can just be very bright. So we can just drag and drop this color grade on there. And as you can see, we've regained a lot of the details that are lost in those white sections. We also have a twirling head animation. Now, you can do whatever you want with this. I don't really know what you'd use this for. Just looks pretty funny. And then of course, we've got the warp stabilizer. Now this is just a basic Premiere effect, but I've put it here so that it's handy for you, and I've adjusted it to all the best settings. So out of video effects, we go into zooms. Now these zooms are really useful. Once again, I'm using all of these on all of my videos. Here's a big zoom with some camera shake at the end. We can change the keyframes of where the zoom wants to end up landing up here by going into these effects and then changing the position keyframe on the second one. This is obviously a huge zoom. It's making my computer lag a little bit, which is fine. We just hit X and then go up to sequence and render into out if we want to bake that in. But for this example, I'm going to keep showing you more presets. So let's get rid of these. Then of course we have a zoom, huge zoom in, which also has a huge zoom out. If you decided to zoom in to somewhere like the face here, and then obviously you don't have the same thing on that keyframe there, it's going to do this. The best way to fix that is go onto this keyframe, click this here, Control C to copy, go to the next keyframe, click there, Control V to paste, go back again, Control C to copy, go forward again, Control V to paste, and there we have it. It's going to stay there. And you can obviously move these keyframes about as you wish. You don't have to have it start there and end there. You can do it straight away. Now let me show you my subtle zoom, which is one that I use a lot. Just a very small zoom in. I do this in a lot of my explainer videos when I want to accentuate something that I'm saying. So if there was like a P in my dialogue, then I'd be like, P. We've got some rotation variations as well. And then eventually you'll get to the slow continuous zoom. Now this is just one slow zoom in. Always useful for if you have a bit of dialogue happening on screen, or you're explaining something and you just want to put some sort of motion in there to make it more interesting to watch. Having some motion is better than having none in a lot of cases. And now here we have the subtitles. Now I've made a lot of these based on what I've seen from shorts and Instagram reels, things like that. Some of the most popular things that you can get. So we've got some 3D text that comes up. It's got some blur on it as well. 3D width is the same thing, but widthways. We've got a blurry bounce. I've seen this on a lot of shorts. And then we've got this one, which is the same thing, just a little bit shorter. Now you can change those, you can mix and match those a lot. And one new one, which I'm really happy with, is a white shine going through the text. Now you can have this say anything and it will look cool. You can simply change this text by pressing T on the keyboard and typing in whatever you want, and it will work. Now we have some camera effects. Mixing and matching all of these together can be really interesting. We've got lots of variations here. We've got distorted with vignette. This can be really useful when you're doing a record screen and you want to show some camera lens distortions. So it makes it feel like you're recording the screen with an actual camera. So here's my ultimate one. This is one that I'm going to be using a lot. So let's drag on a transform effect onto this adjustment layer. We've got two adjustment layers here. This adjustment layer, which has got a basic transform effect. Let's just zoom in and do a camera move. As you can see, when we're moving this, everything below is getting affected by our lens. This is essentially the same effect as having a camera in After Effects with lens distortion. This can make things just feel really cinematic, kind of like CinemaScope movies would feel. Or at least that's the effect that I've enjoyed from it. So as you can see, we're just changing the keyframes here to be interesting, and then let's just see how that looks. So we've got camera shake and movement going on, and it looks fantastic. We also have a lens flare, which can look interesting. This can be really good if you're animating a scene and you want to just add an extra bit of gritty realism. Just put a lens flare on there and then render that out. And then we just have different versions of the vignette effect, which I've custom made. Now finally, onto screen effects, and this is where we can find our rounded corners. Now this is really useful for when you've got a thumbnail or something, a picture of something coming on screen. I use it even for a lot of my memes, and you want to put a rounded edge on those things. I put a nice drop shadow with it as well, which you can disable just by going into Effect Controls and clicking this FX button here. No more drop shadow. But if you do, it's there. All of these are different versions of the rounded corners, each one getting more and more extreme. I usually go for something like 140, as that can just look really subtle and gives it that kind of macOS feel. And now onto something which I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to get out of this preset pack, which is the white bar wipe that goes on screen. So do as I do, create a color matte, make sure it matches all of the settings on your project. Go to white and then click OK. Let's just call this white bar. So we're going to drag the white bar on top here, and then all you have to do there is do the white bar effect on top, and that's it. Now with a sound effect, this can be absolutely perfect with a sword clashing or something metallic going across screen. This can just look and feel really nice. I use it in so many of my videos, and I've seen a lot of people commenting, asking on how to do that effect. So Here it is. And that's everything in the Finzar Advanced Essentials pack. I really hope that you guys can find use in this pack and enjoy it. I've spent a long time trying to create and gather all of these assets for you. So go and enjoy them, and happy editing. Make sure that you go and check out www.storesar.com, sign up to our mailing list, and stay up to date with our most recent presets and courses. And also subscribe and make sure to check out our other tutorials on our other presets. All right, see you later.